What's good, ladies and gents? Welcome back to MKO Pugilism, aka MKO Boxing, where we talk all things boxing. Remember to like, subscribe on YouTube, comment, all that good stuff. Follow on TikTok. So yeah, let's get into this. So yesterday, last evening, was quite a hilarious press conference which was the kickoff for Chris Eubank Jr. versus Conor Ben. It's going to be taking place at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, April the 26th. So not very long to go, just over 2 months or so. And yeah, this press conference definitely delivered some laughs, and it was yeah. If you were looking for entertainment, looking for drama, looking for eggs to get smashed in faces, this was a press conference for you. As From the off, Michael Buffer was there, so you know it's big time when Michael Buffer's there. And yeah, he sort of introduced the fighters. It all started off quite cordial, but the moment it was given over to Eddie Hearn to give sort of an opening speech and talk about the fight, immediately Chris Eubank Jr. jumped on Eddie Hearn and said, "Listen, I don't want to hear any BS or any bleepity bleep that you got to say. I don't want to hear anything you're talking about. You basically shut up. You be quiet. You're not involved in this. I don't want to know what you got to say." And he was just trying to shut Eddie Hearn down. It turned into an argument. Eubank Jr., Eddie Hearn, back and forth, back and forth. Eddie Hearn saying, "I'm more popular than you," and Eubank Jr. saying, "No, your name's not Conor Ben. I only want to hear from Conor Ben. You're just a scumbag, blah, blah, blah." And they just kept arguing back and forth. And Eubank said, "So, Conor, what you got to say?" Conor Ben piped up, and, they went back and forth throughout this press conference. Conor Ben bringing up Liam Smith and bringing up that, "Oh, your own dad doesn't even like you, Chris. Your own dad doesn't like you. What kind of statement is that? You're such an unlikable guy." And then Chris Eubank Jr. coming back talking about, "I'm a bad guy. I've accepted that I'm a bad guy. You still believe that you're gonna do something, that you think you're good. You think people like you. They don't like you, etc., etc." And it was like a back and forth. Nigel Benn was there as well, so Nigel Benn was like, "Yeah, my son's gonna beat him. I know my son. I know my boy. I know my boy is gonna do him. He's gonna beat him and everything." So you had Nigel Benn there piping up about his son, claiming his son's definitely gonna beat Chris Eubank. And then you had Ben Shalom piping in saying, "Yeah, what has Conor done in his career that makes you think he's gonna beat Chris, Nigel? What has Conor Ben actually done?" And then Ben was saying, "Oh, look, my son hits harder than Liam Smith, and you see what Liam Smith done to him the first time, and the other time in the rematch, it wasn't no great performance by you, Chris, etc., etc." So it was a lot of trash talk, a lot of back and forth, and I would say of the two of them, Chris Eubank Jr. was certainly the one winning a lot of those exchanges, and he certainly was the man that started it. He triggered the whole thing off and just started. He as I said from the beginning, he just mouthed off from the beginning, and he really, you talk about kickoff press conference. He definitely kicked it off, and in the end, they had their face off. Eubank Jr., you could tell of the two of them, was looking to make trouble, looking to make drama, moving from side to side, whispering whatever he was whispering to Conor Ben, and Conor Ben was just serious, just looking at him, staring him down, and then from somewhere on his left-hand side, I think in one of those million Louis Vuitton pockets, he just gets an egg from somewhere, no one really sees it, and smashes it on Conor Ben's face. And then Conor Ben gets animated, tries to go for Eubank. And Nigel Benn, funnily enough, the Dark Destroyer, he went after Chris Eubank Jr. He grabbed him by the throat, and then he was sort of removed by security, and it just ensued into sort of a brawl. So yeah, it was a bit crazy. I mean, it's one of those things. I've not seen those types of antics by Chris Eubank Jr., but it's one of those things that because of what's happened with Conor Ben and the rumors about the eggs, it was kind of comic relief. It was kind of funny. I mean, no one got hurt from it, but yeah, it was yeah, quite a funny uh opening press conference, and it's one that yeah, lots of words slung back and forth. For me, going into it, I think as far as the fight goes, for me, it's Chris Eubank. Chris Eubank Jr. wins this one for me. Again, I just think kind of just a bit too big, and although in the press conference saying, "Yeah, don't say it's because I'm too big, I'm just better," and he may well be just better, but I mean, yeah, Eubank Jr., the bigger man, and also because we've seen Conor Ben struggle in fights since he moved up to 154. So we've not really seen a good performance from Conor Ben at the higher weight of light middleweight or super welterweight 154. So for me, based on that, based on Eubank Jr.'s experience at middle, super middle, and decent performances he's had versus Conor Ben, who's not had good performances at the higher weight. At welterweight, some fights has looked very destructive, but I just, judge it based on what we've seen since he's moved up, and the power hasn't looked the same. He hasn't looked as effective. So yeah, that's my thoughts on it. Funny press conference, entertaining. Probably the one tomorrow is going to be more madness. They're going to have to separate them again. But yeah, let me know what you thought about that press conference and who you got winning the fight. Till next time, MKO Boxing, over and out. Catch you next time.